everyone, this is Natasha, aka Time Turner Required, and today I'm going to be doing the second part of my November plan for me inside my bullet journal. So, as you probably know by now, I use a soft covered large moleskin. It's obviously black and it's squared, and I really like it. So that is my bullet journal, and just some things that I'm going to be using during this video. This is just I think it's a B6 spiral bound notebook from Muji, and this is basically a bit of a scratch notebook for me. And what I've done is I've planned out the pages that I need to put in for my November spreads in my bullet journal, so I'll be using that probably just off to the side. And as for other things, I'm definitely going to be using a lot of my Staedtler Triplus fine liners. I think I originally bought a pack of 20 and then have supplemented them from various single colours because you can buy them at Officeworks here. I'm definitely going to be using my Zebra mild liners, and I've got all 3 packs of those. Then I'm going to use my Lamy Safari fountain pen, and it has a fine nib, and currently it is inked with the Pelikan Tanzantine ink, and I only got it yesterday, so I'm not sure how this is going to show up. But it's this lovely kind of dark blue, black, grey colour, and I really like it. Of course, I can't get anywhere without a ruler. This is just a clear ruler from Muji. Sometimes, to be honest, I even use like an old plastic loyalty card, so having an actual ruler isn't too important. And of course, a pencil for marking stuff out. I can't remember where I got this from. I feel like I accidentally took it from some archives, so that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw everything out in my bullet journal, and then I'll kind of take you through what I've drawn out and why I've drawn it out. So here we go. And this is one of the ways I use functional washi. So I only use this washi tape for each monthly tracker, and it really means that they're really easy to find and flip through, especially if I put it on the end of the page. So I really like using that kind of colour coding with my washi tape. going to kind of walk you through what I've done, and I apologise because it's not very kind of artsy, or it doesn't really have the amount of effort that I would normally put in, and the reason being is because I'm in the middle of exams at the moment, so this really isn't my priority, even though November is coming up. So for comparison, this is very plain. The last 2 months I've tried to do some really arty things, and I normally put a quote on the opposite page. So that was September, and then this was October, and then that's November. But I don't really mind, because I like kind of looking back, and I can kind of tell by the amount of effort that I've put into each page how kind of busy I was, so that's a kind of interesting indication. So the next page is my habit tracker, and last month I was absolutely terrible at filling this out, so I really kind of need to get better at this. Habits I'm tracking in November is morning exercise, and that should be every day. Workout, so hopefully that will be at least 3 times a week. LSATs, I'm studying for the law school revision exams. I'm, at the moment, up until my last essay is due on November 11th. So after that, I should be doing LSATs every day. Until then, I probably won't do any. Going to bed early, that's something I really need to work on as well. I prefer waking up at about 5 AM, but if I go to bed at 10:30 PM, that's impossible. I need to go to bed earlier. 30 minutes of reading. Again, this is something that will probably begin after the 11th of November, but I really kind of want to get back into reading again. I've got some good books set aside, so hopefully that will be good. No social media mornings and no social media days, and that's something I'll talk about when I get to my procrastination page, but I'm basically trying to reduce my time spent procrastinating on social media, and I've kind of really worked out a morning routine for that, and a kind of, not really a day routine, but when I'm allowed to in the day. And yeah, water plants, because I've got 2 plants and I really don't know how they've survived thus far, because I don't water them frequently enough. So next is my goals page, and this is something new for this month, and it's basically taken exactly from my Hobonichi goals page, which you saw me set up in the last video. And the reason why I've put it in both places is because I think it's kind of really useful to see it in both places, and just to be constantly reminded about it. And likewise for my habits, I wrote down my habits in my Hobonichi, and I kind of just wrote them out on a kind of cute post-it and wrote them in there and stuck it on my monthly page, so that again I will see it all the time and hopefully be reminded not only of the habits, but to also fill it in my bullet journal. So my goals, you've already seen it, but it's basically fitness, so running, strength work, hopefully 30 minutes a day. I really like kind of, especially during holidays, basically being like, how fit can I get? LSATs, again, I've already explained that. Routine, this really ties into no procrastination, so it's, and basically for my goals, I either break it down or I put things that will motivate me to work towards this goal. So practice for honours, that's a big motivational thing. Morning and evening, so kind of creating a solid morning and evening routine I think will really help me, and scheduling my days. And that's something that I've just kind of started doing, and I thought it's something that I would never be good at because I'm terrible at following schedules, but it actually seems to be working well for me. And last but not least is no spend, because I failed abysmally in October and I failed in September as well, but it's more of a no spend, follow the cash envelope system. I'm sorry, I keep yawning, and it's only like 10 AM, so it's basically focus on the cash envelopes and, you know, kind of only use the money that I've set aside in them. I really should start leaving my credit cards at home. No procrastination, and this is the biggie. This is something that I've known to be a problem for a very long time, and in the last month and a half, I've really kind of started to think about ways, specific strategies, and that kind of thing that I can use to combat it. And this is kind of taken from a lot of different sources, a lot of YouTube videos, TED Talks, stuff that I've experienced myself, and it's just kind of things that I think if I keep in mind and if I try to follow each of these things, it will lead to no procrastination. Because telling someone who is as bad a procrastinator as me, oh, just don't procrastinate, like, you know, turn off Facebook, log out of Facebook, it really isn't helpful and it doesn't get you anywhere. So the first is my morning routine, and this is basically I get up, I do a little bit of exercise, I make a cup of tea. I originally had no social media in the mornings, and I kind of follow that, but I also do like to kind of check everything and get it out of my system, so I'm not sitting there at like 9:30 being like, oh, I wonder what's on Facebook, you know, I've checked it for the morning. And I really find that if I have a morning routine and I kind of start little productivity steps, I feel like I get on a roll with productivity. So I try to do a couple of little tasks, like respond to a couple of emails that I need to respond to, or, you know, small stuff like that, and that kind of lulls me into a sense of productivity, and I find it easier to keep that going. So next is remove distractions, and this is, do you need your laptop, do you need the internet, and use Forest. And I think I'm quite good at using Forest. It's an app, I've talked about it before, that it basically restricts either completely your phone usage or certain internet sites on your computer. And because a lot of the time, well, actually no, I do need internet quite a lot of the time. That's the problem. Because, for example, when I'm writing an essay, I need to quickly be able to check a reference or check how to reference a specific kind of source. So it's really hard, and that's where Forest comes into play, because I'm able to access the sites that I need to access, and I'm unable to access the social media sites. So I think it's very rare that I don't need my laptop, especially because at the moment I'm writing 4 essays. So with LSATs, you know, I really don't need my laptop, so that's really something that I need to keep in mind. Next is make an agreement, and this is something that I believe her name's Clarissa, and she talks about it on YouTube. But basically, every time you procrastinate or become distracted, you basically break an agreement with yourself. Because I've been like, oh yes, I'm going to write 500 words, and then after about 50 words I find myself on Facebook. I've basically broken a contract with myself. So I stopped kind of trusting that initial, oh, I'm going to do this for this amount of time or until I achieve this. And that method of thinking about it, it's something that I hadn't realised before, but it really kind of clicked with me. And I really think I've kind of tried it a bit, and I think it really works, just to keep making an agreement. And because I'm competitive and I like keeping agreements, I'm like, well, I can't break this. I've made an agreement, and it's the physical. It seems quite silly, but, you know, sitting there saying to myself, or even writing out, I'm going to make an agreement with myself. And it sounds utterly bizarre, but it works for me. So then I put when distracted, and basically because, you know, you kind of get the urge after writing 50 words, oh, I'm just going to check, you know, YouTube to see if any videos have been uploaded or something like that. So I need to, and I think I'm never going to not be distracted. The frequency can be lowered, but there are always going to be points when I'm distracted. So I need to channel that distraction into something productive. And it's not really productive to 50 words into a, you know, 500 word writing session to kind of be like, oh, right, I'm distracted now, I'm going to do some reading for another subject. Like, that's not really productive. What could be productive is doing something physiological like exercise, because that kind of gets your blood pumping and helps with your concentration and that kind of thing. So I've just written down a few things I can do 20 squats, 10 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, or 15 leg raises. And then last but not least, so I've done my morning routine, I've removed distractions, I've made an agreement with myself. I've kept it, even if I've been a little bit distracted, that's okay because I know how to manage distractions, and then I reward myself. So I'm quite childish in this, but my major reward is actually being able to tick off the task. So I've written that down there, and then I've said 5-minute productive break. And the reason why I say productive break is because if I go on social media at this time, and you see social media featuring a lot, then yeah, that turns into a rabbit hole of 2 hours. So I've said 5-minute productive break, and a few ideas: a snack, exercise, or housework. So like I can clothes in the washing machine, for example. So it's just small ideas, and I'll probably add to it. Next page is my new and redesigned exercise tracker. So past couple of months, what I've done is something like this. So I've had to track my running distances, cycling, rowing, and other, but as you can see, haven't been filling it out much, and nor have I filled it out much the month before, if I can find it. There we go, and I haven't filled it out much then either. So I thought this could be better because it doesn't limit me to running, exercise, rowing, or as last month I added in another column. But I can just write down what I've done each day. So I really like that. And that's actually it for me. There were 2 other pages I was going to add. The first was a capsule wardrobe tracker, because I've just started a capsule wardrobe and I thought it would be really good to track what I'm wearing more, what I'm wearing less. But I had to be real and honest with myself, and if it was in my bullet journal, I wasn't going to fill it in, because I don't carry my bullet journal with me anymore. And filling in what I'm wearing is something that I'm going to do while sitting on public transport. So really, for me, that's going to function best as an Excel doc. The last page that I was going to do was a rock your handwriting, and I actually I had all the challenges written out for rock your handwriting, but again, I'm not sure how much I'm going to stick with it, and I didn't really want to waste the time and page of writing it all out to find that I wouldn't stick with it. It's easy enough to find. It's pinned in a Facebook group, so I can just go there every day, and I know that's not really going to help with the procrastination issue. But if I just do it as of a morning or an evening, I can just go there and quickly see, oh, today's the 13th, I need to do this, and write it out. So yeah, it's quite a short plan with me. It's not many pages, but I think it's really simplified, and I think it's what I need, at least at this point, because I've been so busy with everything. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this has given you some ideas or some inspiration for your own November or future layouts. If you like this video, please like or subscribe, and if you've got any questions or suggestions for future videos, please let me know in the comments below, because I will definitely make those videos. So thank you very much, and have a great November.